Welcome to the Sushi Vault.
Yeah, welcome to Sushi Vault. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vault IGN, episode 18. I'm your host, Jared Petty, and we're talking about eating horses. Well, we were talking about that, but now we're talking about Fallout, Far Harbor. I'm joined on my left by our special guest today.
Hi, I'm Dan Stapleton.
To his left.
I'm Brendan Graver.
Across the table from him.
Hi, I'm Miranda Sanchez.
Yep, and as always, I'm Jared. And first off, Moxy. Thank you guys so much for letting us know all about the wonders of Moxy. So if you weren't in on this from before, we were noting the special soda that you find scattered all over the Vim. That's right. Turns out Vim is based on a local New England soda called Moxy. Which people sent us lots of pictures about on Twitter. Thank you very much for sending those. If you want to send us Moxy, not that we'd ever ask for it, it's 625 2nd Street, 4th floor, San Francisco, California. Once again, 625 2nd Street, 4th floor, San Francisco, California. Not that you'd ever want to send us Moxy,
Excuse
but
me,
if you did...
plugging free drinks is my job.
Oh, see, that's right. That's true. That's how you got the Nuka-Cola, right?
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, no problem.
Then we had to drink that.
It's good.
I liked it.
Right.
It wasn't
It's
the
like a
worst
Jolly
thing
Rancher.
I've ever
I thought it was fine. It's kind of drinking cotton candy, I felt like.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
It was like that.
It's my thing. I was down with that.
Yeah, you're down with the
I
cotton
want
candy
more.
drink?
Yeah.
You had some sugary sweet.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sweet?
Cake.
Cake? Favorite sweet?
chocolate cake.
Favorite sweet?
All of the above.
Ooh, nice choice. Very good. I avoid sweets these days because they're not good for you, but given the choice, I will eat a rhubarb pie. All right, moving on to the first little segment here. Once again, thanks for all the Moxy advice, guys. And let's talk about you're a poet and you didn't know it because your feet were Longfellows. Our new companion, Longfellow. What do you think of this guy? With a lot of companions in the original Fallout 4, some more interesting than others. We're big fans of
Curie!
around here, that's right. And everybody loves Curie. But what do you think of Longfellow?
I regret taking him with me. I took him with me from the start. It gives you the first opportunity right after he leads you up the mountain. And I took him with me, thinking he's part of this DLC. He's gonna this expansion really. That he should be he should have some interesting things to say. Turns out you want Nick for that.
Yeah, that was my inkling. So
And I had Nick. I swapped Nick out for Longfellow, and I got screwed.
yeah, he led us up the way, and I was just like, Nick, we're staying together. Thanks, Longfellow, for the new house. I'll be there later. See ya.
Longfellow does have some surprising little things. Nothing as big as Nick, but he does have the decisions you make. He has strong feelings about them.
Right.
He loves Far Harbor and he hates the children of Adam.
He's the advocate for Far Harbor,
pretty much,
there, which is nice to have. But moments after you have the first opportunity to switch out, you get there's a great opportunity to hear some good Nick stuff. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't they do it just moments after that?
How did that go? What happened? Because I'm curious. Because I had Nick, and he was very shocked and weird about the situation.
He didn't really say anything about the meeting with Dima. He didn't really interject much at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much because Longfellow's already been there. He knows about Dima. He knows about the island. He's kind of like your tour guide. If you go to locations, he'll talk about them for a little bit. There's a particular a wrecked plane, and there's a trader there. And he actually vouches for you, and he's like, "Hey, is that guy all right, Longfellow?" He's like, "Yeah, he's fine. He's with me."
Yeah,
and so that was kind of nice.
There's a lot of incidental dialogue where you're walking, even just walking through the fog. Explains the history of the fog, and that it wasn't always like this, and it comes and goes.
Cool fact: if you bring him back to the Commonwealth, he actually has dialogue pieces for the Commonwealth. If you go into Vertibird, he talks about I hope this tin bucket can fly. So they actually went and recorded dialogue in case you bring him back,
right.
Which is nice.
So speculative question here. Obviously, it is a little clumsy that they seem to want you to have Nick, but they also give you a new companion. Is the handling of Longfellow the biggest problem with Far Harbor?
I thought it was one of the things I liked least about Far Harbor. He just doesn't stand out very much. He doesn't do anything interesting. He doesn't say much that's interesting. That's not about Far Harbor history, which is just incidental stuff. It's not required. I didn't feel like having him with me gave me any experience, any notable experience that a different companion wouldn't have done.
I think also the way he gets attached to you is kind of lame.
Mm-hmm.
So first she's like, you have to stand right next to me, follow every order I say when we're going through the fog. I'm like, dude, that's fine. I've been in there for 20 hours already. And then you go up the hill and he's like, hey, you want to explore together? And it's just like this really weird change of pace when you maybe fought some wolves. And
it's even funnier if you don't take him to Acadia and you come back down after, and he's like, hey, I heard you went to Acadia. Want to be friends? I'm like, what?
Yeah, so it's just like this weird attachment and not really a reason as to why he wants to travel with you, aside from he's a companion, so he's going to travel with you.
So is Longfellow the worst companion?
No. Preston gets that, that
exactly
thing every day.
mind.
I would have liked to have had a Children of Adam follower, like the Grand Zealot, Richter. He talked to him, and you find out he used to be ex-Enclave. I'm like, that's really cool. We haven't heard about the Enclave since Fallout 3. Yeah. And to hear that he used to be with them, and then I would have liked to have this militant cultist guy on my side with power armor.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he'll definitely give you interesting feedback as you make decisions.
I really wanted Preston to be on the island asking me to come to a settlement. I wanted that, so I wish the developers had just stuck him in there to do that. I think that would have been funny.
Just crashes in a boat.
Yeah, it's just there. No, he's just inexplicably. He's like, I've always been here. I don't know, something like that. But there's that one weird fake Preston you meet in the original Fallout. Geez, I've forgotten all about that. Or in Fallout 4, pardon me. All right, so not the worst. That's Preston or Paladin Dance or somebody like that, maybe. And best, as we all know, is Carrie.
Best.
What about some of your favorite moments? Some of the funniest moments, some of the standout moments from playing. What are things you really enjoyed about Far Harbor?
The murder mystery.
Yeah,
like that for me is the best. Like one of the best things I've stumbled across in Fallout 4 overall. Just the intonation on the murder. Like that, the way they were having so much fun with that.
It was probably, though, one of the few times I've actually been happy that my protagonist had a voice, because they go all out and goes like, I found the murder weapon. And I accidentally romanced a robot, and stuff happened, and I had a lover's embrace perk. I'm like, oh man, I didn't think it was gonna go this far.
Wait, which robot?
Gilda.
I don't think I know.
She's like the diva, femme fatale, movie star, and you can find her at the beach, which is this little cave that's painted like a beach.
Oh, okay, I haven't been there yet. Then
if you keep there's a button to flirt. And if you keep passing speech checks and flirting, just go on a date and oh yeah, get some more info out of her. Oh, fade to black. Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, that place just had the flavor of Fallout 2 for me. It was much more of that kind of dark humor, lightheartedness.
Yeah, in general, Far Harbor kind of feels that way. Far Harbor reminds me more of Fallout 2 than anything since Fallout 2, I think. Maybe I'm putting too much on it there, but I don't think so. It's got that kind of weird, wide, and kind of Twilight Zone meets the X-Files dialogue going on. I do love that you brought up the murder mystery. This is kind of Persona 4 set in New England, done by Bethesda, and I really like that aspect of it. Anything else that stood out?
I did have a funny glitch during that murder mystery where I found the person and I outed them as a murderer, and they fought back and I killed them. And then I reloaded the save and was like, wait, what happens if I just shoot them? I know that they're murder victim, but I haven't really gotten the confession. So I shot them. And it said oh, the residents of Vault 118 are now hostile to you. And so I'm like, oh, geez. And so I kill the person. And
Who
then
could have seen that coming?
Yeah. And then so I turn around and in busts Gilda, who I had slept with, racing towards me. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm going to have to go. She rolls right past me and starts punching a cat. And she beat the crap out of the murderer's cat and then left.
Well, you spend a night with Brendan Graber, and it's never really the same afterward. That's what it is.
I think I got her on my side, so she's just hey, if you're killing a murderer, I'm killing his cat.
So how many robots can you sleep with in Fallout or fall in love with? You can fall in love with Carrie, you can fall in love with Gilda, or at least have a liaison.
Yes.
A fling. Any others?
I can think of.
Okay, well,
I didn't bang any robots.
Huh?
I didn't bang any robots.
No.
Felicia has not attached to anybody yet.
In real life, would you make love to a robot in the proper circumstances?
Not a robo brain. Those things have tank treads.
Okay, well, that could be interesting.
A cyborg.
Huh?
A cyborg.
Ooh, a cyborg.
I mean, it's a person still. So.
You want a cyborg that's got the metal head and the glowy eye.
But what part of them is the cyborg?
I mean, it depends.
Wow.
Anyway.
What about you, Dan?
Hinges on that question.
I'm holding out for love bots in my lifetime. I'm completely all right with that. All right, so that's some great moments in there. Let's talk for a moment about that Fallout 4 Far Harbor review. And look, we have the reviewer here with us, Dan Stapleton.
I did that.
Yeah, you made that review. So Dan, you spent how long in Far Harbor, you think?
It was probably overall about 15 hours before I wrote the review.
Okay, and in the end, you settled on great. You said this was great DLC. Without completely rephrasing your entire review, can you hit on a couple of the salient points, just the things that stood out and made this really good for you?
And the central quest was so morally gray and felt like there were so many different outcomes I could get out of it. It felt like one of the best quests in Fallout 4 I've seen. The characters were all well written and acted. There was stuff to find around the island. There was the harpoon gun, which I really liked. I thought Longfellow was a low point, and I was annoyed by the fog.
Why were you annoyed by the fog?
Because it's presented as this really threatening thing, and then it's just like less than 1 rad per second, and otherwise irrelevant. And I like the atmosphere angle of it, but it's like I don't like when my Geiger counter is constantly going off for effectively no reason.
Okay, I wondered about that. That's the fog's an interesting thing. If they had made the fog deadlier, would it have affected the flow of the game?
I mean, in certain parts, like if you got to the center of the island, there's like just giant fog patch and be like 10 rads a second. Like, okay, this is kind of crazy now. But if like every part of the island is just the same, like, a random 1 less than 1 for a couple seconds and it goes away.
Yeah, like I was hoping it would be something that would force me to navigate the environment differently instead of just walking through it because it doesn't matter. I didn't want like Dead Money had that awful fog that just instantly killed you. Yeah, that was no fun. But somewhere in the middle,
something to make you rethink or maybe like change your gear out
or make a decision about should I go through this and expose myself to more radiation, or maybe it does something other than the same radiation we've had in all of Fallout.
Yeah, like a debilitating perk that hits you or something.
Right. Some different effect would be neat. It was not essential and overhyped and just annoying.
Can you talk a little about the level design of Far Harbor itself as a setting? What did you think about the layout of the new world they created? There was a big deal made before this came out about the size of the area and the scope. What did you think about that?
I mean, it's definitely huge. Like I haven't seen all of it not by a long shot. I did all the main quest stuff, and I did this incidental side quest stuff I've happened upon, but I haven't thoroughly explored it. I'd imagine, Brendan, you've probably seen more of it than I have.
Map that island out
as you're just scraping it for wiki content. But it felt as densely packed as the rest of Fallout 4, which is neat because I haven't seen all of Fallout 4 yet either, just because there's so much stuff. But as far as the layout of it, that's a good question because it's all open world stuff. It's not all that distinct. There are a few areas that look a bit different than the others, but for the most part, it's gloomy and gray and not all that visually interesting. Other than when the fog comes in, like there are a couple of like dawn and dusk moments where it looks pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's especially distinguished by its level design, at least relative to the rest of Fallout.
Brendan, you've also seen a lot of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like when they touted it as like the biggest island we've ever done, like big doesn't always mean great. Like I think that for all of its locations, they are very spread out. So you're going through lots of the same little marshes between areas, and there's not a whole lot in between those. Whereas like the Commonwealth is kind of densely packed, where it's like you have a location here and here, and there's like a giant city you have to navigate. This is just all wilderness with the occasional cabin or ruined house, and like sometimes a location is just like a little shack, and that's it. That's your location. So that could be interesting, and it could be not. So I think that there are probably better selling points in how big it is, though it is fun to explore. And I have found little things off the beaten path that weren't like marked.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's not marked. I've noticed.
Also, a lot of creepy gnomes on that island.
I feel like it feels a lot like the southeastern region of the Fallout 4 map.
Yeah, that's
Can you elaborate on that?
I just said it's marshy and more spread out, and it's not a city area.
Yeah, so definitely more rural, and I think that was a good choice for them. I think to give us something that contrasted with most of what we'd seen in the other world there. We're going to skip ahead on our little agenda here and go back to something in a second. But since we're on this anyway, where do you think Far Harbor falls in the DLC pantheon of Fallout games.
Definitely near the top. I mean, like especially like Fallout 3's DLC. I think like Point Lookout was good and Broken Steel was good, but like Mothership Zeta was bad. Operation Anchorage was kind of bad.
It's interesting because Brendan liked Operation Anchorage.
You monster.
Yeah.
I liked how it took you somewhere else.
Right, but then it turned it into a shooter, which was not a really good call.
That's when it kind of fell flat.
Right, and it was linear and not very interesting. Anyway, and then Fallout New Vegas DLC was much better for the most part.
There was a couple small ones and a couple nice story ones.
Right, but nothing on this scale.
Yeah.
So like I feel like this was of the high quality that we saw on most of New Vegas's DLC on a scale we didn't see in that game.
Yeah. I was thinking about it too. Like I really liked New World Old War Blues and New Vegas. I thought that was like a very science fiction-y one. So like in terms of story, that was one of the great like writing ones. And I think this one also had some pretty good writing for like how you can resolve quests. And then thinking of other great DLCs like Dragonborn, I think is one of my favorite DLCs. Because it also had an island. It was also very densely packed.
We'll get to Dragonborn in a second. We're going to have a whole section on that. But I want to ask about Old World Blues for a second. Is that the one where you're chasing your brain?
Yes.
Okay, but for people who haven't played this, please explain. This is great.
To summarize, you basically get abducted and experimented on by old war or pre-war scientists, and then they lose your brain to some other rogue scientists, and you basically have a fake spine and a heart and a fake brain. You got to go find your real brain, and then you have to convince your brain to come back into your body, and your brain is very sarcastic.
It's simply delightful. Yeah, I love that. Rand, did you follow with the DLC much for Fallout 3 or New Vegas?
I did not. I was poor high school / college kid, so.
Yeah. DLC is...
No DLC for me then.
It's got to be real good if you're going to get me to go for it, definitely.
Like horse armor.
Well, yeah, now horse armor. Okay, so let's talk about another, this is not a Fallout one, but the natural comparison because of the scope, because it's an island, because it's Bethesda, Dragonborn, the great Skyrim expansion that's just like, holy crap, they made another giant Skyrim place.
Or even Shivering Isles for Oblivion.
That's
a great comparison too. Yeah, geez, Shivering Isles. I'd forgotten all about that. How could you? There's so much of it. So, how's this stack up against Shivering Isles and Dragonborn in your book?
It's been a while since I played.
I feel like the one thing that this DLC has been missing, maybe it's because it's Fallout and not Elder Scrolls, is there was less of a punch to like things that happen and the rewards. Like in Shivering Isles, you become a god. You become the next Sheogorath. And Dragonborn, you can ride dragons. You can respec your character. You can throw exploding spiders. I made a fun video about that, by the way. And then in Far Harbor,
alert! Brendan is totally about to drop a spoiler. You have been warned.
You get your final quest reward is a trunk full. I thought this is spoiler cast.
No. Is this a spoiler cast?
Is it not a spoiler cast?
Let's be good boys.
We already
and
had a
girls
big
here.
spoiler earlier.
It's kind of lackluster.
Okay.
There's no like unique reward. I'm like, wow, I could only this like changes the game and what I expect.
It didn't introduce any real new mechanics.
Yes. There was some fun stuff that you get, but nothing to that extent where it's like I have never thought about using a game like this before. So I think that the Dragonborn and kind of Shivering Isles wins to that extent, where they have some better like I don't know some flash, some substance, whereas the Far Harbor has some more quality storytelling and how you can resolve those things.
Miranda, what should the next Fallout 4 DLC be? Where should they go from here?
Where should they go?
Yeah.
I don't know the Boston area very well, so I don't know where geographically they could go. So like that part of the United States is just like a mystery to
I
me.
guess I mean thematically.
What if it's in your
Thematically,
mind?
So we kind of had this weird mystery thing going on. We already had robots. I would like to see more of maybe a community that focuses on getting back to the pre-war stuff.
Ooh.
Like maybe communities like, because we saw, what are they called? That one little community already that was filtering out all the synths with their test. I forgot what it's called now.
Covenant.
Yeah, I know it's hard to see. So I'd like to see that, but like on a grander scale. But if people trying to maybe bring that back and the issues that they're having with it.
My ultimate unresolved desire of Fallout 4, as great as that game was, and I do think it was truly great, I wish the Covenant test to determine whether or not you were a synth based on your answers and change the game based on that.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
I like Covenants, it's Woodbury, but it's Woodbury done pretty well, and I thought that was fun. What about you, Dan?
I want to see him go under the sea.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Like, I want to see I want to see a underwater vault.
Oh, that sounds great, and it makes a lot of sense too for that universe.
Yep.
Oh man, I love that kind of a Captain Nemo meets Future of the '50s thing going on. That
Yep.
could be rad. You have Cthulhu down there, Dagon.
Throw in a few subtle Bioshock references and a bunch of Aquaman jokes.
I love that. That'd be great. What about you, Brennan?
It's
I'm
hard
gonna
to
bring
say,
the harpoon gun.
really. But I kind of would like some more of that virtual reality. So not the puzzle-based virtual reality. That was fun for a little side, but like they've shown that they can have some fun little memory stuff. So if you were maybe be able to play as like Kellogg going across his journey from the West Coast to the East Coast.
San Francisco to Boston.
That would be kind of a cool aside where you don't play as your character for once, you play as somebody else.
They'd have to. I think if they did that, it'd be like a weird linear thing.
Yeah, it would be
'cause
very
you
much
couldn't
linear.
explore.
Like be like some small hub zones where you go like, here's your one in California, and here's your thing in Nevada, and here's your thing in the Midwest.
The hub in California.
Telltale presents Kellogg. I mean, you could do it that way.
There you go.
Boo linearity.
I like the idea for the lore. I'd love to know about that. For me, it's I want them to go full Lovecraft. They're in New England. They've already done Dunwich Borers.
Yeah, I was surprised Far Harbor didn't have any Lovecraft.
Yeah, so there's a mist. Just send me to Innsmouth and give me Dagon and Cthulhu and fish people and all that. I want that so bad. And they've hinted at it several times. Just give it to me. I want it. Please make this. Please.
You know where you can find fish people?
Where you can find fish people?
Under the sea.
That's true. There would be
Whoa!
fish people under the sea.
And there's a
Sure.
lot of giant skeletons on the beach. That also piqued my interest.
Oh yeah, those weird little fish, the dolphin.
There's a dolphin
the
one, and there's
mutated
just
dolphins.
giant skeletons everywhere on the island. I'm like,
Oh,
where
right,
did these
that's
things
true.
come from? Why is no one talking about these things?
Maybe they're part of the fish DLC
Or maybe they're just big dead whales.
under the sea.
They have giant tusks.
No.
Mutated.
Muta whales.
I don't know,
Narwhales.
but I
Stay-
want to
stay out of
fight
the
a
ocean,
live one.
guys.
Narwhales. Also, big news this week. Mods have come to console. Holy cow. Now Fallout 4 mods available on ye old Xbox. What do you guys think about this?
So Brendan, you're the only one who's really messed with it because it just happened yesterday.
Because I had to. I'm a PC player. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I tested it out, and it's still, intermittent issues with connectivity, and they're still trying to get everything in there. And I think every minute there's more mods just pouring forth. So there's going to be a little bit of moderation. I'm pretty sure some nude mods and some kind of
You got to mod those mods.
yeah. You don't need some of the mods that are going in there.
Are the mods getting moderated? Are you I mean, apparently we have mods of all kinds popping up. We have nude mods popping.
I don't know how long they do. I saw one of the front page ones is an increased bus size mod. So
okay.
I don't know how lewd that is for Bethesda, but there is a report feature for all the mods.
I mean they're not curated by Bethesda, except they've got a report button. So if they report something and Bethesda then takes a look at it, but just a stream of stuff from the community.
Yeah, and it's nice that
it's all made on PC, right?
I think so, yeah. And they do have a nice a Netflix gallery where you can just go down by category, what's popular, what's trending, what's up and coming. You can go by companions, by environment, by cheats or guns.
Much like Steam Workshop.
Yeah.
I need to check and see if they have the Deathclaw companion because that's all I want. I want to get a little bow and put on my Deathclaw, and we'll be best friends.
What are you playing Fallout 4 on, Rand? Are you a PC
Xbox
player?
One.
Xbox One. Okay.
I like PC too, but I like some of my games just on the couch.
So for all of us, this Xbox mods, Fallout 4 mods coming to Xbox, is probably the biggest deal for you because you're already playing on Xbox. What does this open up for you? Why are you excited about it?
Well, I want new clothes.
Okay.
There's just a lot of customization things that I'm more interested in. I don't really want to change the game that much. I don't want to change how it looks. I've heard that it doesn't run super well if you change big things
Certain
graphically.
graphical overhauls are
Yeah.
probably not going to work very well. Small ones, maybe no rain or always rain might do the trick. But I think one of our gameplay guys tested out a more foliage mod, and that kind of made him stutter a bit. So I wouldn't look too hard into the graphical ones.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing about mods is Bethesda doesn't have to support them. So like nothing in here is tested or sanctioned by Bethesda.
Right.
So it can do bad things to your game. Like it could cause crashes.
The
it
good
could cause
news,
poor performance. It can cause all kinds of things. It's use at your own risk.
they make duplicates of your save files whenever you install a mod, which is nice. So you can easily tell,
Yep.
okay, that's my modded save file. That's my unmodded one. So you can easily go back and not lose all your progress.
But you could play for a while in a modded game and then lose your progress.
Very true. Save often.
And there is a rating system, so hopefully the good stuff's going to rise to the top. And actually, this is something I wanted to ask the audience. So you guys have been amazing. We've gotten so many. By the way, thank you for all the messages of support this week. I'm glad that we're glad that you're glad we're back. But yeah, let us know what the best mods you're finding on Xbox One are. You can tweet at us at PettyCommaJared, at Ragafraga, at Havoc Rose. Please use the hashtag VaultIGN. If you'll tweet at us with that, there's a very good chance we're going to see it. Let us know what Xbox One mods are working well that you like, that you're into, or if you've authored some of them, here's your chance to shill. Let us know. Have you fooled with it at all, Dan?
I have not. No,
Okay.
I gave up my Xbox copy when I got it on PC.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play a Bethesda game, generally speaking, PC is the way to do it, if nothing else, for console commands. But there are millions and millions of people out there who are enjoying Fallout on their consoles, and the console versions are very, very good. And now they have a whole new, awesome, cool, groovy ability. But
yeah, and it's great to see consoles get that that capability that has thus far almost exclusively been on PC. Like I think like Unreal Tournament 3 allowed people to install like some PC made mods on the PlayStation 3 version. But beyond that, like mods have been pretty much unheard of.
Dan, it's funny you say that, because that was going to be my very next question. What game, now that mods have come for Fallout 4 to Xbox One, what game or series would you like to see console mods come to next? Maybe a console exclusive
GTA.
series? GTA,
Yeah.
you'd like to see that? Okay, for GTA.
Yeah.
Why's that, Dan?
Because there are a bunch of great mods on that, and it's it's a big sandbox world where you can tweak whatever you want and get a new life out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head there.
Really? GTA for you as well?
is really the one that has a big, robust modding community and could really use it on console.
Okay. And again, for the same reasons, just the fact that you can bring these things in that already exist, this huge library of awesome mods in the big world.
And plus, like a bunch of the most heavily modded games are not on console.
Yeah.
Like XCOM 2, for example, is not on console.
Right.
Like if that were on console, then I'd love to see mods come
That
to
would
it.
be different, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I mostly play on console, but I've been playing more on PC. So I'm not really big into modding. I don't really care much. I just like
Okay.
to play the game, unless it's The Sims.
The Sims?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm hoping for I don't think this will ever happen, but I think Overwatch modding on console would be rad.
they're not doing Overwatch modding on PC.
I
It's a
know, but I
competitive
still
game.
want it.
Yeah,
I'm just dreaming.
no,
I'm just
don't.
dreaming of a world
People
where
will
it can
cheat.
happen.
Don't.
I'm okay.
You can get TF2 modding.
Huh? TFT mod.
So there you go. Yeah. I mean that was a big thing because like TF2 on console was really left in the dust because Microsoft and Sony wouldn't allow Valve to patch whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
So it never got all of the fancy stuff the PC version got, and never went free to play like the PC version did.
Just kind of
Sad.
got left behind there. That is sad. That is
Yeah.
really sad. Oh, I love Team Fortress in all its iterations and incarnations. Goodness gracious, Team Fortress, good stuff. Next up, your mail. We've got a few messages here. First off, from Zachary Canfield. Zachary Canfield says, I believe I found a Saving Private Ryan Easter egg in Far Harbor. Did anybody else see this?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a direct one, but it's very close.
Yep. Describe it.
You mind the spoilers of this?
What's that?
Is it, like,
There's
heavy
a
spoilers?
church sniper.
Yeah, this church sniper. You go up and the church sniper is. Is that it? The fact that
He's
it's
just on the bell tower of
Yeah.
the church with looking over a thing. Same position where you got shot in the eye in Saving Private Ryan. So
Right.
no bullet in his face, but
but dressed as a soldier, sitting up there. So
Yeah.
And bell tower snipers are hardly unique to Saving Private Ryan. They're kind of a staple of World War II movies, but that's why Saving Private Ryan doesn't. That's why I think this is probably an allusion to that famous scene. That's one. Lots and lots of these. Vim in Far Harbor is not an equivalent to cheerwine, but equivalent to the New England drink called Moxy. That's from Mitch Minter. Thanks again. He's one of many, many people who let us know about Moxy, but he's also talking about cheerwine, and that makes me happy. Sam says to us, thanks so much. You saved me many times from boredom as I traveled long hours for my job. You're welcome, Sam. I'm glad you listened or watched, or hopefully you weren't watching in the car. So we're going to say
probably listening.
Yeah, probably listening.
A
in
good
that
listening thing to listen to.
Reese Mack asks, do you think we'll see a lot more story-based DLC like Far Harbor and little cosmetic DLC? He's talking about the upcoming DLC packs that we know are coming at some point. Will we see more story DLC, or are we going to see more cosmetic DLC?
I would be surprised if we don't.
If you want to believe those files that people found, the files indicated that there were going to be 2 workshops and 1 story, but that could be subject to change. I hope it's the other way around. I think with modders especially, I think we're good in the Wasteland Workshop, unless they're going to add like brand new stuff that we couldn't even fathom. I'd rather go this Far Harbor route.
Yeah,
it is important to note though on the Xbox modding, you're limited to 2 gigabytes worth of mods.
Yes.
So you can't necessarily cram in like every workshop edition or whatever that they crank out.
Yeah. So if they offered like pre-war items that you could buy as DLC, I would get that.
Well, we talked about this on an old mod or an old vault, but like absolute dream mods for Fallout, mine would be playing in the Commonwealth before the war. I'd love to see some of those areas reskinned and done. Have a scenario set maybe in a small portion of the map before.
I just want to be able to clean my houses. They're just so dirty. I mean, sure, you're living in a post-apocalyptic world, but please just sweep. It's not that hard. Just get the leaves out of your house.
Well, you're kind of living in Silent Hill world at this point.
It drives
me
nuts.
You just kind of and
I have
everything
to build my own
turns
house.
clean.
I don't like to ruin houses because you can't fix them up.
It's crazy. Anyway.
Am I missing out? This is Choombroom. Choombroom. Choombroom asks, am I missing out much by not having Nick with me? I've been pretty attached to my robot.
Yes, you are. Bring Nick.
At least worth 1 playthrough with Nick for this main story.
It was super frustrating. Like when I played it, I swapped out Nick for Longfellow, and I wanted to get Nick back, and I couldn't find him because I'd gone.
Oh no.
Well, I had gone like right after I got the soonest possible time you can. So when I sent Nick away, like I tried to send him to to a place where I knew where I could find him, and I went there and he wasn't there. So I sent him to Longfellow's shack because it was like, I could just go there. He wasn't there. So I used the console command on PC to warp me to him, and he was at the memory den. And I couldn't get him out of there unless I went through the whole memory den quest. It's like, I don't have time for this. So it's like, fine, I'll stick with Longfellow.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's odd. That's really, really strange.
I can just see him like swimming back, like.
He's like, God, forget you. I'm gonna go do this memory den quest even if you're not.
Yeah.
Daniel Lopez says, yay, new episode of Volt IGN. You guys are great.
You're great.
Woo.
All right. Sinatra After Dark says, as a newcomer to the Commonwealth, I just started listening to The Vault, and it's just delightful. Again, thank you. We're just reading all the ones that say nice things about us. And finally, Justin says,
Something
cheer
really
wine
mean.
is the single worst beverage ever. I used to work at a Pepsi bottler, and even the machines didn't like it.
Oh.
Justin.
Now you got a problem when the machines that bottle you don't like you.
Justin, you make me sad. That's all I have to say about that. So, but if you want to write to Volt IGN, you can do so by tweeting at PettyCommaJared, at Ragafraga, at HavoCRows, and just put hashtag Volt IGN because we never bothered to set up a mailbox. Moving on from what's that?
Said oops.
No, actually, it's much better this way. I'm on the Beyond mailbox. Getting 140 character messages still gets the point across, and I actually think this may be the way to do it. Total digression. Time-honored tradition here on Vault. Dan, you have been on a while, but we always have a total digression there at the end of the show. So, what are you hoping to see at E3?
Fallout related or just in general?
No, in general. Total digression has nothing to do with.
I'm actually not going to E3.
Dan, what?
It's so sad, the story behind this.
A certain game was delayed, but
You had your whole week planned out to review that game,
but no, it's fine because I've got an infant at home that best if I'm not gone for a week.
The hardest game at all, child raising.
But I'm interested to see what EA is going to put out Star Wars related this year. And there's going to be more to come about Civilization 6.
Yeah,
which I'm somewhat interested in.
I'm interested in the news, definitely. That's one of those games that doesn't always demo well. You need
a big 4X strategy game. Like, how much can you play in an hour? Like, I actually got to play the first 60 turns. I've got a preview up about that if you want to go read about it. But like there's just so much going on in those games. Like even playing the first 60 turns, which the first time through took me an hour and a half. Like you don't really get a sense of what the new changes, like the districts in particular, what those are going to do to your mid and late game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you've got to play at least a couple of full games through a Civ, of any Civ, just to have an idea of what affects what at all. I love those games. Absolutely love them. I'm very excited about Civ 6 as well. Brendan, what about you?
I'm just looking to get my hands on a controller and play 90 minutes of a certain Zelda game.
Do you think they're just going to have to drag you away from the booth by your ankles?
I will sneak in after hours if I have to. And
well, fortunately, you should have plenty of opportunity since apparently it's the only game they're showing. So
I'm assuming it's just going to be like this giant, like 100 stations. If it's going to be like 90-minute demos each.
What if it's just like a single labyrinthine display, like this giant dungeon setup with like just design, and you have to make your way through the maze to reach the one kiosk at the center where you can play it?
If it's anything like the Hyrule Castle courtyard where the guards kind of like look around and just drag you out if they see you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's just like if you get seen, you're dragged out. You have to get back in line again. Oh man,
I'd be down for that.
I'd be down for that too, actually.
Let's fight people, Yeah,
what
push
about you?
them out in the lane so they get caught.
You just push them in the way to the guards?
It's like, sorry guys.
Whatever it takes to win.
They're so mean.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty mean. Surprise. I am excited to see more on Persona, of course.
Yeah.
I want to know more on Mass Effect, because at first I was like, I don't know if we need another Mass Effect. Like, I'm really happy what I got out of it, and then I thought about it. I was like, nah, I want more Mass Effect. Just kidding. So I just want to know more about that. It's my big thing, and whatever else new this show.
Dishonored 2. What's that? Go ahead.
Dishonored 2.
That's exciting. Yeah, rats with bombs on them.
Dishonored so much, and Emily being the protagonist is such a big deal for me. I'm super excited.
Oh, the fact that you have two different protagonists you can play.
Emily and Corvo is just so cool.
That's neat. I agree. Dishonored is one of those trains I completely missed the first time around. So I'm really excited about getting in and experiencing this kind of fresh. This is going to be fun for me. I hear so much good about it. Since I don't get to play No Man's Sky that week, I guess I'll just enjoy looking at it some more. I think that's probably going to be a lot of. And for me, I am really intrigued by the VR offerings, particularly what Sony's going to show us. Assuming that we're finally going to get that glimpse at VR. I want to see games. I want to see how this tech is going to be used.
I want to see an awkward stage demo.
I don't know about an awkward, but I do want to see. I want them to sell me. I want to see how they're going to market VR games to me. I'm waiting for that Super Mario Brothers of VR. Sooner or later, somebody finds a way to just make it. Oh, I get it. This is why I have to have this. And
Lucky's Tale didn't do it for you?
No, I'm not a Banjo fan in the first. That's a way of pushing me away from VR. If it reminds me of Banjo Kazooie. It's probably gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna get so much hate mail now. All right, guys. Last one. Dan, where can people talk with you at?
I'm at Dan Stapleton on Twitter. I'm around in the article threads. I'm here at IGN.
Your AMA is done for this year, right? You don't have to do that again until next year.
Yeah, I usually do those around March.
Okay, so we're safe there.
And just doing my thing.
Anything to plug?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
I mean, just whatever reviews are going up.
Hard working man here, Dan Stapleton. Reviews editor at IGN is the furthest thing from an easy job there is.
There's always something to do.
Yeah, always something to do, and always someone yelling at you.
Yeah.
Always, every single moment of the day. What about you, Brendan?
You can reach me at raga_fraga. I just reviewed a game called Kirby Planet Robot. It was pretty great. Thanks, Dan, for helping me out with that review, letting me express my opinions, because sometimes I'm like, it's a game, it does stuff, and I often forget how to write reviews, so I have to learn again.
Kirby, often besmirched. I feel unfairly. I'm a big Kirby advocate. I once dressed as Kirby for Halloween. I love Kirby.
It's had its ups and downs as Kirby games.
Can you date robots in it?
No, but you can drive a robot, and you can punch things and then absorb them into your system and get giant buzzsaw blades.
That's kind of like dating.
What is the best Kirby game?
Ooh.
This is a point of contention, because I've the one, for all its faults, that I love the most has to be Crystal Shards 64. I know it's not the greatest Kirby game, but it's the one I love the most.
It's your favorite. Okay.
Yes,
your favorite.
I love
it.
It's very comfy. I love the music, the environment. I love the secret final boss. One of the best boss fight musical things I've ever experienced. O2. I love it.
There's a lot of good Kirby games. Dream Course is really good. Mass Attack's really good. Kirby's Adventure is really good. I like Super Deluxe pretty well.
You can only pick one.
But if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be Canvas Curse, which was the first game to make you go, oh, this is what the DS can do. Okay, now I get it. Again, it was that game that was like, oh, this thing's more than just a tech demo gimmick. Okay, you can make games that you can only play on this kind of platform, and here's one that I just want to play over and over again. Did you guys ever play that?
Yeah, it's funny how Kirby games kind of split off, where there's the platform one and then the one that's like, hey, let's do something crazy with Kirby for a bit. And that helped the DS really well with that Canvas Curse, and they did it again with the Wii U to similar effect with the stylus drawing.
What about you, Miranda?
I'm at Havoc Grows, as we said a few times. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and the internet, where I do things. I don't really have anything to plug except for the E3 wiki. Just go click it, please. Thanks.
Yeah, that would really help. Just go look at it refresh it over and over again.
There's some good information there, though. So if you're actually curious about things for E3,
gaze into it lovingly.
Yeah, just remember, there's some really hard work there.
Miranda, if people want to watch Vault IGN or other IGN podcast shows, extemporaneous videos at all, etc., where can they go?
You can watch it in so many places, like the IGN apps that are everywhere.
Yep.
On your PS4, on your Xbox One, on your iOS device.
On your Roku.
Android.
Yeah,
your Roku, Amazon Fire.
You can just come to the office and watch us.
I don't think you can compile one on Linux yet. We'll work on that. But sooner or later you can do it. If you don't like the term apps, you can refer to it as software. You can refer to it as a program, the PS4 program for IGN.
IGN box, the little thing.
Do that.
Anyway. You can watch so many places.
You can, and you should. Why? Because if you do that, we keep getting paid, and we like getting paid. All right, hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Also, if you're listening on iTunes, please rate us. It really, really, really helps. You can't know how much it helps. 5 stars is the correct number to use, unless 6 are somehow available. Otherwise, please 5. Leave comments. Say hi once again. And finally, very, very last moment of the show. I'm pretty sure somebody tweeted a question at me this week, and I was like, I'll read that on the show. And I hunted for it for half an hour today and can't find it. So if I told you I'd read your question and then didn't, please tweet at me again and be like, hey, I'm the guy, and here's the question.
It was me, Jared.
So sorry.
It was me all
I feel like I have failed one of our viewers right now. So, all right, it happens occasionally. So until next time, enjoy your apocalypse.